Tammy. Go ahead. I love how it tells you now. That's a new thing, recording in progress. Okay, well, thanks for hopping on, you guys. I don't know if everybody knows this or who knows or whatnot. I've been sharing on my story, but if you're not following, I am on a road trip. I am currently on a road trip. I flew from Arizona, where I live, to Ohio, where I used to live, to pick my padre up, my dad, and we are driving to Ohio. This is day 2 of our 3-day road trip. So I'm sorry if I'm a little bumpy, but we're in the car. And the goal and the point of me hosting this tonight from the vehicle is because, you guys, we can work this business anywhere. There's really no reason why I couldn't, hop on and pour into you guys and teach you things. So just remember, when you are at the end of the day and you're telling yourself that there's really nothing you could have done to work your business, really think about when you could have sent that reach out or that, happy birthday message, which is actually a fun part of our job, right? Because we can do this anywhere, anytime that we need to. So I am coming to you live from the truck. We are almost to Amarillo. We're close, right? We're 20 miles outside of Amarillo. We are reaching the home stretch here. We'll be home tomorrow night. But I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about your end of month, right? We still have 3 full days and the rest of today to work our business and to get to our goals, what we want to have achieved for the month. Is there anybody watching this who is like, oh my goodness, all the auto ships are processed and I'm not where I want to be, and you're kind of panicking, like, how am I going to get there? But remember, 3 days is a long time. It's plenty of time. And plus you still have the rest of this evening. So as easy as it would be to hop on here because it's the last Sunday of the month and tell you how to prepare for July, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you to make the most out of this month that we are in right now. Tomorrow's going to come anyway, which means July is going to come anyway. So let's focus on right now and getting our plan together. So I like to do rate of run often. And it is obviously important if you know what your rate of run is. But I want to do something a little bit different with you guys because, and especially if you're not where you want to be for the month. So I'm going to change it up a little bit. And instead of walking you through your rate of run, I want you to do something different with me. First, you need to know what your qualified volume is for the month. You need to know where you're at. What are your numbers so far this month? And you need to know what your goal rank is, okay? So hopefully you have a goal that you have not yet met, because if you have met your goal for the month, hopefully you're still pushing anyway because we're still getting paid, right, every day. So say, for example, your goal for the month is 4K. So you're going to put $4,000 into your calculator. You can write this down and do it later, or you can do it with me right now. But you're going to take 4,000 and then you are going to subtract your qualified volume for right now. So wherever your goal is, you're going to start. If your goal is 12K, you're going to put 12,000 down. If it's 40K, you're going to put 40,000 down. You're going to put that number into your calculator, and then you are going to subtract your number. Thank you, Susan. I saw your cute hair comment pop up. So you're going to subtract your volume from your goal, and you're going to have a number there that you're going to divide by 3. So that number that you have is the amount that you need to come up with in volume each day for the next 3 days. Is that number realistic? Is that number out of this world? Or can you look at that and say, okay, if I got 2 new customers every day for the next 3 days, I would be at my goal. What is it that you could break that number down and make it happen? what is, okay, if I sell 3 $400 promoter packs, if I sell 1 promoter pack a day and help 3 new people start their business, I will be at 4K or 12K. So take that number, break it down into whatever you can do to get there. So there's a ton of different ways we can do it. If you're looking at that number and you're excited because you're like, oh, I only need, $150 a day. That's 1 new customer Thrive Experience pack. I can do that. That's great. If it's, something that's way out of this world and you think it could never happen, you guys, crazier things have happened. So don't count yourself out. Remind yourself, you could enroll somebody tomorrow and they could hit the ground running and be, passion on fire and start hitting goals right away. So there is nothing that is out of question here, but you have to know where you're going if you're going to be able to get there. And if you don't know what that number is, then you're just kind of winging it, right? So we don't want to be winging it. Something else I want you guys to think about. Yes, it's obviously important that we are thriving free because we are the promoter. So we should be leading the way by getting our Thrive for free. And hopefully each of you already knows how to do that by getting your 2 customer referrals. But I also want you to think about the customers you currently have who need their Thrive for free. Don't forget to help them get their Thrive for free. Don't forget to reach out to them. This is the easiest way to come up with volume, is reaching out to your customers to make sure that they're thriving for free. And don't forget that we have the ability to stack customer referrals. So if you have a customer who, she's kind of halfway into sharing it with people, but she's kind of thinking nobody's going to order. So she's just, not all the way in, but she's got 1 toe in the water. And you help her get her first one by signing your person, reach out who's ready to order under that customer. She's going to be so excited that she's going to be like, oh, I only need 1 more person. Okay, I can do that. I can get 1. And they will be so appreciative. So sometimes I think we forget we have that ability. We get so excited. Someone reaches out to us and they're like ready to order, and we send our link so fast or we sign them up so fast. We forget that we have the ability to help people get their Thrive for free. So like I said, you want to have a plan. And if you have a plan and you're focused, then when that person comes to you, you'll be ready to sign them up under someone else's link. And I saw a comment pop up. So because I'm on my phone, I'm going to read this really quick. My newbie yesterday was a customer referral and it made my customer Thrive for free for July. That is you guys, that's our job, right? Like that is what we do every day, is help people thrive for free. That's literally what we get paid to do. So way to go, Danielle. That is exciting. And it makes us feel like we're doing our job. And when you help a customer thrive for free, if you are on my team, that means you just earned another point to go to the leader retreat that I'm hosting in August. So I hope you're keeping track of that, Danielle, because I would love to see your face there in August. Also, I love that Susan's watching this right now, because I was going to talk a little bit about her tips from this morning or from yesterday in her group about samples. But before I talk about that, I want to talk about how you are leading your team and how you are sharing Susan shared with me privately, and I'm secretly telling you guys, like, we share knowledge with each other because we want to help each other grow. It doesn't matter if the person is under you, beside you, above you. Like, we do this because we want to help each other grow. But who are you sharing these calls with that you pour into? Like, when you listen to a Zoom and you love it, do you keep it to yourself, or do you go to your team and say, oh my gosh, you guys, I just watched this Zoom. You have to watch it. It was great. Are you actually watching the things that you're sharing with your team? Because I couldn't go and ask people if they watched Susan's live if I hadn't seen it, because that's just not genuine, right? So when you learn something new and when you are inspired and when you feel like, you know, you're excited for something because you just learned it, don't just keep it to yourself. Share it with as many people as you think would learn from it. If you're on my team and you're in my team page, it doesn't matter if you're brand new. It doesn't matter if you've been here for a long time. I don't care how long you've been here, but if you learn something, please share it in my team page. Hop in there and post it, share the link, comment your favorite thing about it, and tell everyone else to watch it, because that's the only way to grow is if you're sharing your knowledge. And that will, I promise you, it will come back to you. So what I wanted to talk about that Susan shared this morning, or I watched it this morning, but she did it yesterday, was all about samples. And if you're not in this SOAR to 4 group, and you want to be in it, let me know. I will help you get in there. But she did a 30-minute training on how she does samples. And I love samples, but it's taken me a long time to figure out what works for me and what doesn't. But something that I learned that she does is she offers samples to all of her birthday people every day. Let me mail you a birthday sample. And she has in this group, she puts her scripts and everything. So I won't go that far into it, but you know, scripts are great if they're your own. They're great if you find somebody else's, but if you do copy and paste any of them, please make sure you kind of make it sound more like you. I'm the kind of person who actually does say, hey girl, I'm just checking in on you. But if you don't say, hey girl, and you start your message with that because you got it from me, your people would be like, okay, that's not like her. So I'll just kind of give you the brief of it, but she's reaching out to people on their birthday to tell them happy birthday. And I would love to send you a mini Thrive experience just to celebrate. Where can I send it or whatever? And then they reply to her and she helps them get set up with their free sample. So just think, if you were to do this to everyone on their birthday, how many birthdays pop up on your page every single day? Like every day it's someone's birthday. Sometimes there might be 1 or 2, and sometimes there might be 12 or 15. And sometimes I feel like I personally am posting, and I'm posting like, you know, who wants a sample, or if I gave you a sample, would you be willing to try it? I feel like I push the sample just out there into the world, and either sometimes that's worked, but for the most part I will maybe get 1 or 2 likes and they're already people who are thriving, and that's not really income producing. But if you are reaching out to people and just being bold with flat out asking them if they want a sample for their birthday, you might get ghosted. You might not get an answer, but you might also have somebody reply and say, you know what, I've been watching you post about that and I would love to try it. And what if that turns into your person who ends up getting in a group chat before they even get their sample, places their order, and buys a $400 promoter pack tomorrow because they're so excited? You just don't know if you don't reach out to people. And if you do this every single day for a year, you could go through everyone in your feed, and you're going to keep doing this every single day. You're going to keep adding people to your network. You will never run out of people to talk to. Hopefully you are expanding your network and you do keep adding people. A year would be a long time, but you can even make sure oh look, did she pop in there and use her script? I hope she did. Yes, she just put her thing in the chat. So you guys, obviously I'm driving, so I can't do anything with that, but you can copy that, put it in your notes if you're on here live. That is the benefit of being on the actual live Zoom. So copy that, use that, make it into your own words, use, your own punctuation or abbreviated words or whatever, because I've been doing this, you guys, for 5.5 years, and Susan's obviously been here even longer than that. And I'm one of the leaders in this group that's helping people soar to 4K and 12K, and I am learning. It's been amazing. So just don't forget to plug into all the things so you can learn all the things. Okay, something else I want to talk about that is so hugely underrated is personal development. I have been checking in with my leaders that are in this Soar to 4 group often. I try and do like 2 to 3 times a week, but individually messaging them and talking to them about their feelings as far as being in this group and what they're doing and what they like and what they've, learned. And a lot of them are learning a lot of things about themselves by being in here, because a lot of these tasks are, a little bit of soul searching, and they're learning things about themselves, and they feel like they are brave enough now to put themselves out into the world, and they're getting this confidence that they never had before. That is huge. And I keep telling them, you guys, the one girl apologized and she's like, I'm sorry it's taken me this long to kind of get out of my shell, but there's nothing to apologize for. I think it's incredible to be motivated and inspired enough to take that step to grow. And a lot of times that's the missing piece. So you can have all the knowledge, you can watch all the videos, you can take all the courses on YouTube College, you can know all the things, and you could even do all the things. But if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't have your heart in the right place, if you're not pouring into yourself personally, that is the mental block that's holding you back. So I want to know, like, put in the chat for me to pop up, because like I said, I learned from you guys too. Like, what is your favorite form of personal development? And I can't wait to see the comments, because I know everybody has a different version of what their personal development is. For me, I love YouTubes. I love listening to YouTube while I'm doing other things, because I can multitask. I like to listen to other leaders from different teams so I can get ideas of what they're doing. But I also like to listen to audiobooks that have nothing to do with Thrive, but a lot about leadership and confidence and things like that. So let's see if we got any in the chat yet. Who's got an idea? What is your favorite way to pour into yourself before you can pour into somebody else? Sandra typing over there. And you guys, personal development doesn't mean you have to, like, go to the spa. It's not like, it doesn't have to be, a big extravagant thing, but it does need to be consistent. Sandra says, I love hearing positive development in the morning, audiobooks, and reading 10 pages a day. April says, right now, YouTube. Yes, YouTube is such a great tool, because you can use it to watch music videos, but you can also use it to just find information, come across leaders that you want to follow, whether it's within the business or not. Listening to audiobooks. I just recently read this, or listened to this, I shouldn't say read, but it's called Boss Up. And I cannot remember the name of the girl who did it. It's called Boss Up. I know the girl's, I'm pretty sure her name's Lindsay something, but she actually was a leader with Young Living Essential Oils. And she talked about how she was successful, basically. But she came up with all of these different ideas where I'm like, wow, I could use that in my business. I could use that in my business. And it inspired me to go and make some new changes within my business. So it doesn't have to just be all about Thrive 24/7. Sometimes when you take a step away, your personal development might just be taking a nap. Like, I know we're Thrivers and we have energy, but sometimes we need a nap. And if you need to close your eyes for 30 minutes, you might wake up and have this great idea, and you just needed to turn your brain off for 30 minutes. So don't underestimate the power of just growing your own self. I also have had, I've loved checking in with my team, because I feel like I feel like I needed to know what I like to call, like, the heartbeat of my team, or the pulse of my team, because we go through these ups and downs. Like if you're watching this and you feel like you're in a slow season, like same, you're not alone, but your team is probably feeling the same way because you're not in a slow season by yourself. You have a team of people who are reflecting that also. We can't do any of this on our own. So check in with your leaders and just ask them if they're doing okay. But the one thing that I've been doing by checking in with people is, you know, making sure they know that they need to give themselves grace. Like you don't have to be positive, I don't know, Patty, I don't know what you would say. You don't have to be 100% super happy and energetic 24/7. Just don't put your negative energy out into your, social media for people to see. But at the very least, just be consistent. So if you're feeling like, your business isn't doing what you want it to do and you're feeling frustrated, at the very least, just be consistent. That was something that Susan talked about last night. And she said, it's like going to the gym, right? If you don't do something every single day, then when you go back next week, you have to start all over and then your muscles are sore again. Whereas if you just would have continued to go every day, you would not have lost that and you could have kept moving forward. So even if you're feeling like you are stuck, if you're frustrated with where you're at, just stay consistent at the very least. If you don't feel inspired to go make a post about how great your life is today, go to the fan page and share something. Find somebody on the fan page who has a story that can relate to Sally, who you followed up with 12 times, and you know that she is a nurse and she is struggling and she needs to hear this story. And you don't even have to say anything about your own mood. You can just share something, but just don't take that feeling of, nobody's listening to me, nobody wants to thrive. I'm offering free shipping and free DFTs and nobody wants to order. And I know that sometimes it can get frustrating when you feel like you're doing all the things, but raise your hand if you've ever felt like that. And then a couple days later, you get 3 new customers. You're planting those seeds and it feels like nobody is watching. But when you show up the next day and then you show up the next day and somebody reaches out to you and says, you know what, Danielle, I've been watching you. And today I just woke up with this feeling of being sick and tired and I don't want to feel like this anymore. What do you have for me? And I know it's the month end and everyone's trying to rush and hurry to get their goals and get their customers thriving for free. But if you're really, really rushing, and even if you don't get your goal, the work that you're doing today is not going to be for nothing. Even if you don't reach your goal, even if you're $6,000 away from 12K, so you just give up because there's 3 days left in June, so I might as well wait until July 1st. If that is your mentality, you're in the wrong headspace. Because I had someone ask me that the other day. They said, "Oh, I already reached my goal for the month, so should I wait until July for this person to put their order in?" No, don't do that. Think about what you're doing, or think about the potential of how good it could be when you don't wait. Because if this person places their order, this was a couple days ago, so they did end up placing their order. She did listen to what I was saying, but this person places their order and now they have to wait a couple days for their product to arrive, right? So they're not even thriving yet. Their product might come maybe tomorrow, maybe Tuesday, and then they're going to start thriving, and then they're going to start feeling what thrive is. And then by the time they're ready to get their first customer, it's July. And then they can get 2 customers. And then that's going to be, 2 more orders in the month of July. You never, ever, ever want to hold back what you're doing because you're afraid that you're going to need that volume next month. So you just hold back. That is it's like self-sabotage, because what's going to happen is next week when it's July 1st, they're going to say, oh my gosh, I totally forgot. And I went on a shopping spree and I spent the money that I had set aside for that. And I'll reach out to you when I'm ready. And you're going to lose them. Or, you know, they're going to say, you know what, I really didn't feel like waiting. And I saw that Courtney Summers made a post about Thrive and I was ready. So I placed my order with her. And that hurts. That stings, because all you were trying to do was get an order for yourself. That at that point, you're just trying to do it for yourself. And you want to make sure you're doing this to help other people. So let me see. I got a couple chats coming in while I was saying that. Yes, Susan, that is Satan trying to convince you cannot do this. Had a lady do a sample pack in November. She ordered and didn't know it after a year. Oh, good job thriving for free. That is so exciting. Like, that's our goal, right? Is just thriving for free. And if you, like I said, the samples that Susan is doing is a great way to get people started on their Thrive experience in itself, because you can make sure that you're signing these people under each other when they get their sample. And the last thing I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about, I can't tell what time it is here. Okay, I've got a few minutes, is doing the things that you've learned. So, and I kind of touched on this a little bit, but what can you do today that we have just talked about? Even if it's personal development, even if it's breaking down what you need to do every single day for the rest of the month, what your volume is, and figuring out a plan. Okay, if you need $400 for the next 3 days to reach your 12K, you can do a promotion. What can you do to get there? Create a plan. Can you offer your commission back, $100 cart to order? What kind of posts should you be making to get those orders? Who should you be reaching out to? Do you have a customer who is a happy customer that would switch to promoter and, you know, start promoting with us? What can you do today, as soon as you get off of this Zoom, to make your business easier for the rest of the month? Because it is Sunday night. This is when we plan for the week ahead. This is when we write down our goals for the week. This is when we get our, you know, this is when I write down in my planner what calls and what lives and what Zooms I'm going to catch this week to make sure that I am filling my own cup for my own self. But we have to do something every single day. Just watching this and listening to this is not going to get you there. Just me watching Susan's amazing Zoom or live about samples is not going to get me any sample packs out. But doing the work that Susan shared and doing the tasks that she gave and the ideas that she gave, that's what's going to help me grow. So what have you done or learned right here today that you can get off and implement instead of just watching? Let's see what Sandra said. I have a plethora of credits and offer to buy 2 get 1 promo the other day. The credits went like wildfire. Yes, you guys. Something I also learned from Courtney Glaser is not to put a promo out when it's just dead. But if you put a promo out when your team's already excited and they're working, they're posting, they're sharing things, they're excited, and then you put a promo out, that's going to make them be even more excited. Like, wow, Sandra saw us working and she gave us a promo. Like, that is what you want to do. So, you know, come up with a promo. If it's buy 2 get 1 and that's going to help you reach your goal, that's a plan of action. That is an income producing activity where you are making a plan to get what you need to get where you are going. So really think about how you can utilize any of this information to make the rest of the month the best of the month. You guys, we still have 3 days to work our business. Don't give up. Don't slow down, because it is still June. It is still June, and that's exciting. And that extra volume that you put in can help you get to Las Vegas when we have our lifestyle getaway in October. So I am going to wrap this up. I hope you guys were able to bear with me while I was a little shaky on this drive, but I loved being able to pour into you guys and just talk to you on the trip. Yeah, so I hope you guys have a good evening, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.